All right, let's talk about something that I know is on a lot of your minds, the Cambridge B2 first reading section. But look, I want you to just completely forget the idea that it's some kind of scary, impossible test. From now on, I want you to think of it as a puzzle. It's tricky, for sure, but it's totally solvable. And today, I'm basically handing you the playbook to do just that.
So let's just jump right in with a big question. Is this whole B2 reading thing really a test of how good your English is? Or is it something else? Is it more of a game? A game of logic and clues and strategy? Well, the truth is, it's kind of both. But the real secret, the way you turn that anxiety into confidence, is by focusing on the puzzle part. It's not just about what you know. It's all about how you use what you know.
The reading paper isn't just one big block of text. We're going to focus on the three main puzzles, parts 5, 6, and 7. Each one is different, and each one needs its own special key to unlock it. So let's get into it and start decoding them one by one.
Okay, first up is puzzle number 1, part 5, the multiple choice. You know the drill. A big old text, 6 questions, and 4 possible answers for each one. But this isn't just about finding facts. It's cleverly designed to see if you can pick up on the writer's attitude, their opinions, the stuff that's written between the lines. And you can bet it is absolutely packed with traps.
So how do we beat it? Well, the strategy starts with the move that might feel a little weird at first. But trust me, it's a game changer. You read the questions before you read the text. This gets your brain ready for what it needs to find. Then you grab those keywords from the questions and start thinking about synonyms, because this exam loves to rephrase things. After that, you get to be a detective, crossing off the options that are just plain wrong. And finally, this is so important, you're looking for the implied meaning, not just words that are copied and pasted from the text.
And here is your first big hack. I really want you to remember this one. If you see an answer choice that copies a chunk of the text word for word, a little alarm bell should be going off in your head. Seriously. That's the oldest trick in the book, designed to catch you if you're just scanning for matching words. The right answer is almost always a paraphrase of the idea.
All right, let's get to our second puzzle, part 6, the gap text. Now this one can look pretty terrifying. You get a text with these 6 big holes in it where paragraphs should be. Your job is to take a list of 7 paragraphs and slot them back into the right gaps. And yeah, that 7th one is just an extra, thrown in there to mess with you and test your confidence. This part isn't about vocabulary. It's a pure test of logic and flow.
So the strategy here is all about being a clue hunter. First, just read the main text with all the gaps in it to get the general story. Then, you turn your attention to the paragraphs you need to fit in. You're looking for little breadcrumbs. Reference words like this, he, or it. They always point back to something that was just mentioned. And connecting words like however or as a result are pure gold. They tell you exactly how the ideas link together. Once you think you have them all in place, that one leftover paragraph should look completely out of place. It'll stick out like a sore thumb, and that's how you know you've probably got it right.
And here is the absolute key, the core hack for part 6. If you're looking at a paragraph and it says something like, "This challenge was enormous," and you're thinking, wait, what challenge? That's your clue. Your mission is to scan the text right before the gaps and find where that challenge was first introduced. It's like a lock and key. Find the introduction and you found the paragraph's home. Simple as that.
And that brings us to our final puzzle of the day, part 7, multiple matching. Okay, for this one, you get a few short texts, usually 4 or 5 different people giving their opinions on the same subject. Then you get a list of 10 statements, and you have to match each statement to the right person. This puzzle is basically a high-speed scavenger hunt. It's all about precision and digging out specific details from a whole lot of text.
The trick here is not to get overwhelmed. Please, do not try to read all the text first. Don't do it. Instead, take it one question at a time. Read the first question, underline the keywords, and then scan all the little text looking for that one piece of information. When you find it, you mark it and move on to the next question. This turns one huge, scary reading task into 10 small, totally manageable search missions. And what's the golden rule? You got it. You're hunting for synonyms, not exact words.
Now here's a pro tip for part 7, because I guarantee you'll have this moment. You'll be sitting there thinking,
wait a minute, it sounds like both person A and person C are saying this. When that happens, you have to look closer. The exam loves to set a trap with a very general statement that kind of fits, but the right answer, the one that gets you the point, is always going to be a much more specific match to the keywords in the question. In this puzzle, specificity is everything.
Okay, so we've broken down the 3 big puzzles. We know how to approach each one. Now let's put together your universal toolkit. These are the powerful techniques that are going to help you with every single part of the reading paper.
Think of these as your 5 essential tools. First, always scan before you read deep. Just get the lay of the land. Second, always ask yourself, what am I looking for here? An opinion? A reason? A fact? It really helps to focus your search. Third, and I know I sound like a broken record, but you have to master synonyms. The whole exam is built on them. Fourth, don't freak out if you don't know a word. The sentence around it usually gives you all the clues you need. And finally, please make this a habit. Just before you commit to an answer, read the question one last time. It takes 2 seconds and can save you from so many silly mistakes.
So, you've got the strategies, you've got the tools, you're in a good place. But now, let's unlock the expert hacks. These are the 4 secret moves that will really level up your game and give you that extra edge.
These 4 hacks are real game changers. First, try this. After reading a question, try to predict the answer in your own words before you even look at the options. This stops those tricky wrong answers from messing with your head. Second, remember that the question order is a gift. In parts 5 and 7, the questions almost always follow the order of the text, giving you a sort of roadmap. Third, and this is huge, trust the text, not your gut feeling. What you think or assume doesn't matter. Only the evidence on the page gets you points. And lastly, get out there and read real stuff. News articles, blogs, whatever. It trains your brain to recognize the kind of authentic language the exam uses.
We've spent a lot of time talking about what you should do, but to really become a master puzzle solver, you have to know what not to do. Think of this as the final boss battle, learning to see the traps before you fall into them.
So, let's make this super simple. Here's the puzzle solver's code. Never ever read the full text first. In part 5, instead, you're going to read the questions first. Don't underline everything on the page. That's just noise. Instead, you'll only underline the keywords. You're not going to search for exact words. You're going to search for meaning and synonyms. And finally, don't change your answers just because you're nervous. Trust your first logical choice unless you find cold, hard proof in the text that it's wrong.
And I want to leave you with this thought. Your prep for this exam isn't just about doing practice tests. Every single time you read something in English, an article, a story, a blog post, you're training. Every text you read is bringing you one step closer to getting that certificate. So really, the message is simple. Just keep reading.
So there you have it. The B2 reading section, it's not some big scary monster. It's just a series of puzzles waiting for you to solve them. And now you've got the strategies, you've got the tools, you've got the expert hacks. You literally have the playbook in your hands. So the only question left is, which puzzle are you going to go out and solve first?